Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Here we are at YOOPknows going through some demo type scenarios to give a sneak peek into the inner workings of YOOPknows and some ramblings along the way. What we're going to do today is talk about the card system. So previously, last few days, we've been talking about the template and how that allows you to know what you're doing on every job, where you're up to, all those kind of things, and formalize your process in your architectural business. We then also did touch points and snoozing, so you've got like a feedback loop so you never forget a project. Really important. But what we're going to do today is the card system. So good example of creating cards and such is when you need someone to do something. So the template is great in terms of knowing what you're doing on a project, but the cards can be quite good to assign jobs, move those jobs around. So it's about when are we doing something and how are we breaking it up. So what I'm going to do is it's based on Kanban, which was created in Japan in the 70s by Toyota, and it was a process of making something visible, making a process visible. If you do it in a spreadsheet, etc., you can't quite see the analysis. So they wanted to make a process visible, so they created these cards that they could move around and they could see the advantages and the patterns and such. So it's based on incoming and overflow, and then every person gets a waiting, doing, and done. That's common to everyone. And we even have a full page so you can see all the stuff. What I might do is add some stuff in a little bit so we can see how that works. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and add a card. So you can see that you just hit the button, add a card, and what you can do is do a cool design, and you can create. It's that fast to create a card. So I would suggest that you can create a card faster than you can do a post-it note. You can create a card faster than you can do an email. You can create a card faster than you can put it into Teams or Slack or whatever, those kind of things. And the cool thing about this card is you can't lose it. Once you created that card, I just put in do a cool design, but I can click on it again and then go, actually this is to do with Brick Road. Hit save again, and you can see now it's got Brick Road, do a cool design. You can also add a category. So what I'm going to do is go to admin settings. The categories are not set up, so we can just create a category that relates to our template, and I know design development, can't spell today, design development, and I'm going to make that light blue, and I'm going to hit create. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the dashboard and go back to my card, and then if I click on categories, you can now see design development come up. When you're setting up your version of YOOPknows, you can put in all your phases that match to a card category and color, etc. So if I create, if I assign that to design development, boom, it goes to light blue. So if you ever see a card that is assigned to design development light blue, you will know that it's design development. So if you've got 3 or 4 cards that are light blue, you kind of know what they are instantly, and that's where you can start blocking out chunks of work. Because if you do 2 or 3 things that are very similar, like submitting applications, etc. In our practice, I think submitting applications purple, really nice color. When you see those kind of like purple cards, you can go, right, there's 3 applications to submit, boom, 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 boom. And a staff member can get into a state of flow and know that what they're doing and just get on. It's really efficient, really cool. So that's in incoming. That is common to the entire practice, but I'm going to do it. I can put that in my doing. Okay, so, or I could put it in my waiting. So the doing is what you're doing today, and waiting is probably, you know, what's waiting to come in. So you can actually plan your day by putting stuff in your doing. And let's say do a cool design. I can actually add a due date. So I can say I've got to do it by Wednesday. So if you're a manager in the office, you can actually give parameters to your staff about when something's due, and you can even put a duration. It should take, let's just say it should take 3 hours, whatever this is, and you can tune someone in, especially if they're quite junior, and it's like, I don't want you to spend more than 3 hours. I think that's really good function. And you can see the 3 hours comes up, but it also, let's create another card. Send DWG to engineer, and I can put in engineer at gmail.com. That's their email address. Boom, and you can see it pops up there. If I go back to settings, if we had on our card system, we have a thing called small things, and it's pink. I'm just going to create that. Boom. If I go back to the dashboard, so what I've done is I've just created another category called small things, and boom, assign that to that, and it's pink. So we have, it's amazing the number of small things that happen in a practice, and by assigning a card to that small thing, you cannot forget it. You can assign it to someone or you can do it yourself, but you can't lose it. And what happens is we have a guy in our practice who goes through and finds all these small things. You can see all the pink cards, and it may be 4:30 when his brain's a bit frazzled, and he just smashes them out if he can, because he can send a DWG to an engineer. He knows who the engineer is. Boom, 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 boom. And that's really cool, because those kind of things, that means that the engineer is then not chasing the client and then the client chasing you saying you haven't done something. It means that you're just doing all those little things, and it's all the little things that usually fall between the cracks. Everyone's focusing on the big things. So really, really valuable. Okay, I said, so these are my cards. What I'm going to do is go into admin. I'm going to go to team. I'm going to add a staff member. I'm going to call, they're going to call Bobby Smith, and it's going to be Bobby at supergood.com. Boom, boom, boom. A role, it's staff. That's all made up, obviously, but I need that so that when I now go to full page, boom, we've got 2 staff members. So it's me and Bobby. So the cool thing now is I can give that card to Bobby, and when Bobby's done it, Bobby can put it into done. So perhaps I'm going to be out of the office. I give these cards to Bobby to do, and once Bobby's done them, then I can log. Say I'm out all day on site, driving around, all those kind of things. I get back at 7 o'clock. What I can do is go onto my YOOPknows and hopefully see that Bobby's put both those cards in done. And then, my mind's not thinking about it. I'm not texting Bobby saying, have you done those things? I'm not emailing them. So Bobby's chill, I'm chill. I've got no things going on in the back of my brain. I sleep well, no anxiety, all those kind of things. So it's really cool. So, I'm always creating cards and giving them to, and similarly, if I was Bobby's giving me cards. So an example of that might be someone calls and check an invoice for client, and it might be car road, for example, and it might be client called with a question invoice you sent, can you call? And there could be a phone number, but we've got all the client phone numbers in YOOPknows, so we don't really need that. So you can see that that's popped up there. Actually, that might be a small thing as well, so let's give it a small thing. Boom, it's pink. So as soon as if then Bobby puts it into my doing, if I see it, I know it's just a small thing. So going back to my dashboard, I can see my cards, and I can see the practice cards overflow. Overflow is more practice-wide things, so it could be update your T's and C's. But I can also go to the full board and see all the staff and see what everyone's doing. And everyone organises their own cards. You can put them in order. You can put priority numbers on them, which is sometimes useful. I can put it priority number 1 if I want to give it a bit more emphasis. But yeah, you can put them in order, and people can swap cards. So I might give that. Oh, someone else might do that if I had another staff member. So anyway, I hope that's quite a quick and fast overview on cards. What I might do tomorrow is add some more staff members and see how it expands. Hopefully that is useful.